Hello friends, this is Ganesh and video number 3 on ABAP to UI5. In this video, I'm going to show you how to write simple code in a JavaScript or using JavaScript and try to follow the syntax of JavaScript, try to understand how to declare a variable, logical conditions, and very basic stuffs I'm going to show you in this session. And I want to clear one thing from my side as about this playlist. So this playlist name itself, I mentioned very clearly, it's ABAP to UI5. So this is not, or I'm not going to follow any proper topics or topic wise content in UI5. Because here I'm just sharing my experience, how I converting myself from ABAP to UI5, how I'm learning or how I'm seeing the UI5 development. So here everything is based on the output. I'm just to keep one output. I'm trying to replicate or I'm trying to design the output with the help of UI5 like JavaScript or HTML or .css file. So the proper way the people are explaining about the UI5 session, so don't expect the same strategy in this at least in this playlist, because the previous things I'm good in that, like CDS view, OData, so I can just follow some strategy over there, follow the topics which I have to cover one by one. But here it could be like I just covered HTML and I just showed you how to see it, write a CSS file, and next I'm going to go with JavaScript. Okay. Hope it might be useful for you to just start learning about the UI5 path. And one more thing is here I'm not going to go in very detail about HTML or JavaScript. The reason behind is everything is available in w3schools.com. So even I'm also referring the same website. Just copy paste and you will get whatever design you need, whatever conditions you need, everything is over there, it's available. So I don't want to waste your time on explaining the same thing. So here my intention is I have one output in my mind, I'm trying to do it in UI5, and as we are good in OData and CDS, so how we are going to do it in the using BAS, Business Application Studio. So that is my main agenda of this particular playlist. Okay, so this is the overall idea of this playlist. So don't expect I'm going to very detail in UI5 learning concept. So try, I believe it could be easy for you. It will be a at least the beginning of your UI5 learning process. Okay. Let's see. And if you need any comments, the people who are from UI5, so please, I'm mostly welcome. So just let me know how we have to do it. Definitely I'll do that one. And the terminology also, I'm trying to learn and explain over here the exact terminology of JavaScript. If anything is missing, so that's also, please, you can comment it on my video. Definitely that will be noted. Okay, let's see about today's session. So first is JavaScript. So JavaScript is, as you aware, it's a programming language, another programming language to start writing the code. And most of the UI developments is using the JavaScript. You might aware of it. Most of the UI developers, they're saying how it's developed. I just do go with JavaScript, we developed it. And JavaScript, in very basic understanding of an ABAP, this is the place where it's going to determine what needs to be done based on the user input. Okay, user requirement or user input. So how the flow must happen, like if the button is clicked save, so what needs to be done? So when the control is going to backend and get the system, when the control is play around with only in the front end itself. So many things, those kind of determination, logical determination are going to be done in JavaScript level. So normally we call it as .js file. So last video also I showed how to create a JS file, what kind of code we can return. So the same place I'm going to write more coding in this particular video. And the places to write JS, JavaScript is, I showed the first three we already have seen. So head is nothing but inline code, and body is, head is nothing but internal code, where you can, in the HTML itself, there is a head and close head tags. So in the head place, you can start writing the function and you can call it whenever you record in your body. And the body itself, you can start writing a JavaScript, is nothing but inline kind of a code. You can do it External file, you can keep a file as a .js file. You can write the same kind of code. Most of the preferable way of writing the JavaScript or CSS is an external file. So don't do it in inline, because it's a kind of reusability, how we are doing in include program. So same way. And apart from that, there are two other places we'll see quite later. And you can do it in the external URL or external folder also. You can keep in the .js files. Everything has its own property and pros and cons. Okay. And the next is, if any language, if you take the basic write of coding would be the declaration of a variable. So here in Java, there are three different keywords which we are using to declare a variable. One is var, another one is let, and constant. Okay, so var is the basic keyword which we are using to declare a variable. Here, when declare a variable, or to two or three different ways we can do a declaration of a variable. So like var first name equal to Java, last name equal to script, comma, dob, comma, order quantity. So here four variables got declared separated by comma and using one var keyword. And the first is declaration with the definition. While declaration itself, I'm assigning a value. The same thing in the second variable also. And third and fourth variable is just a declared, it's not defined. It's not defined any value. So technically they call it as these two variables are undefined values or undefined variables, meaning it has a variable but it doesn't assign any value to it. So based on the value, this variable can be determined what type of variable it is: character data type, or numeric data type, date data type, time data type. Okay, so decimal data type. So depends on your value, this can be recognized. And one more point over here is the string value can be single quotes or it can be double quotes. Okay, so both are possible in JavaScript. And if you pass any numbers with a single quotes or double quotes, it recognizes that is a character value only. So whatever within single quotes and double quotes, that is a character value. So this variable is recognized as character variable only. Okay. And the next line, so next line I'm assigning a value over here for third and fourth variable, and this consider, okay, this is the date variable or data type, and this variable is going to be a numeric. And if the order quantity, if you pass within single quotes as 100, in this line it consider this is a numeric data type variable and this is going to be a string variable. Okay. And every statement is end with a semicolon. This is a common rule in JavaScript. Another one is here this concept is called redeclaration. Normally in ABAP we don't have a concept called redeclaration. Redeclaration is nothing but same variable can be redeclared with a different value. So the first line mat type is going to be recognized as character variable, but the second line the same variable is going to consider as a numeric variable. So this is possible in JavaScript, like they call it as redeclaration concept. So the same variable can be used for different values. So that is the flexibility over here. And another option is this is also not available in ABAP. Order type equal to OR. The first definition is happen, then declaration is happening. So that is also possible. It's not like we have to declare, then only you can use the particular variable. But in JavaScript, reverse is also possible. Just use it, and after that also you can declare it, at least in the same file, that particular variable to be declared. That's it. And in the definition part, you can able to do some mathematical things, like some calculations you can do, like actual minus 12. So actual is one variable and minus 12 is a constant over here, hard-coded value. So the answer after this, the answer is going to be determined or recognized what would be the value of what would be the data type of this variable. Okay. And another thing I have to use is I have to inform about the plus symbol. In JavaScript, plus symbol has two properties, depends on the value how you're using it. Suppose if you're using 10 plus 20, plus is going to be an arithmetic operator. Suppose if you are using Java plus script within single quotes, whatever you're using within single quotes Java plus within single quotes script, then that plus is going to be considered as a concatenate operator. So plus has two values over here. Okay, one is two operations. One is for arithmetic, one is for concatenation. Okay, that depends on the value how you are using before and after the plus symbol. Okay, I will show you in the system as well. And the next one is, okay, few points in technical term for variable in JavaScript is identifiers. Okay, all the variables whatever we have seen in the last slide, first name, last name, DOB and everything, these are identifiers technically. And identifiers without value is undefined. I mentioned already. Well, you declared it, you're not assigning any value, then system recognize that is an undefined variable or undefined identifiers. Identifier starts with three options. One is a letter or a dollar symbol or an underscore. So these three are possible. Starting letter I'm talking about. Another one is identifiers or case sensitive. The last slide I did a small mistake over here. Here date of birth D is small and date of birth D is cap. So this is not going to match. Okay, so it's very important. It's case sensitive. So normally I used to see the people go with this kind of case, like first name is normally this particular, second word is going to be then capital letter. They won't prefer underscores actually what we used in ABAP, but this is the way they used it, and you can follow your own naming convention, depends on the place where you are working. Okay, so here with case sensitive means here also D should be in the small case only. And yeah, these things. Another one is let. So let is the another keyword where we can use to declare a variable. It has its own property. That syntax is same. Like here I use the same thing instead of where I used let. Okay, and here for let you don't have an option called redeclaration. So that is not possible. Redeclaration is not possible in let. If you try to do a redeclaration, you will get a syntax error here. And another one is block scope is possible or applicable only for let. This is a property of let. Okay, block scope is nothing but you consider as a form and end form in ABAP. What is form and end form? Subroutine block. Okay, so that is a block, and whatever variable you declared inside the form and end form, you can use only within that particular block. Okay, apart from that, outside of the block, outside of the end form, if you want to try to access the variable, you are not able to use it. So scope of that particular variable is only within the block. That is called block scope in JavaScript. Okay, and this block scope concept is applicable for let, not for where. So this is the way we have to use it within your parenthesis. So you have to use let plant equal to 4,000. Okay. So the next example is here. Suppose I used this way, like let plant equal to 1,000, let plant equal to 4,000. Then the value of plant is 1,000 only. After this parenthesis, if you try to display the value, the plant value is 1,000 only, because this is only within the parenthesis, the value of plant is 4,000. So here you don't confuse yourself about the redeclaration part. Here the redeclaration is happening inside the block scope. So that's why you are able to do it. But within the same block or after, before the block, if you try to use a redeclaration, that won't work. Okay. If I try to use the same with the help of where keyword, so where plant equal to 1,000, where plant equal to 4,000. Now the value of plant is after the bracket, value of plant is 4,000 only, because block scope is not applicable for where. So it won't give any syntax error, but it behaves little differently. It won't consider the block of scope. Okay, block scope for where variable means the variable is declared with the help of where keyword. Another one is a constant. So it's very simple for you. So const company code equal A123. This is actually a mistake. It should be within single quotes. So here, this particular variable value is constant, like A123. And constant you can use as an array. We call it as array is nothing but collection of values, collection of different values over there. So here I used 1,000, 2,000 and 1100. So all three plans. So how you can read one by one, the value, or I can say address or range, is nothing but 0, 1, 2. Start with 0 and continuously sequentially it get increased. So if you want to read the first value, you have to say plant of 0, means the variable name. So plans of 1, plans of 2. So that is the way you have to use it. And one more step ahead, you can give a name for each one. So here everything is plant. Suppose if you want to use a constant, the first one is an order type, next one is a material type, next one is plant or company code. So you can give a different name for your different values, and through that particular value also you're able to read it. So this is some advantages in the constant. So constant is not only for one variable, array also you're able to use it. And okay, so the next very simple learning of any new language is after the variable declaration, logical expressions, if and else if. So if within bracket, give a logical conditions, whatever you want, open and close parenthesis, this is a block for if, and then else space if, logical condition within bracket, and this is a block for else if. And else also need a block, and you have a block for else also. There is no end if, so this will complete within this block itself. Okay. So this is the usage of logical expressions. So now I'm going to show you everything in one JavaScript file. We'll try to give different kind of variable declaration and concatenation using a if conditions, and I will show you how we can see in the debugging mode as well. So how we can see the way how the debug is worked. So everything I'm going to show you in today's session in the BSA Business Application Studio. Let's get into that. This is my trial account. I logged in already. So let's get into the trial home and open the Business Application Studio. Then I will create a new HTML for HTML application for our JavaScript learning. So here I'm going to keep a simple form. Inside there are some input fields and text for it, and then there is a button, and once the button is clicked, the JavaScript function to be executed. This is also going to be a very static page, and I'm going to keep my JavaScript as, so here it's stopped. I need to switch on it, like I need to run it. And if the button is clicked, I'm going to keep a JavaScript as an external file. I'm going to create a new .js file, and inside the file I'm going to create a function with a name, and inside the function I'm going to show you how to declare a variable, how to assign a value for it, how to use a if condition, and finally I will show you this function doesn't have import and export parameter. So I'm going to show you the output probably in the debugging mode. You have already seen about the debugging of any UI. We used inspect option or F12. So right click inspect or F12, that will open to inspect your page where we aware of that is kind of a debugging. So I'll show you how the values are transferred, or how the values are filled in a particular variable, and how the if conditions are getting worked, how we can do a change in the debugging level, and how it automatically reflects in your screen. Okay, so same like our ABAP debugging. If you change anything in the debugging, it's available only, or the scope is available only in the debugging level, so it won't change your program, right? The same thing here also, we are going to do the same. Then what else? If condition, debugging, yeah, mostly those are things we are going to see. Let's create one file or an application. Start from template. Project from template over here. It will display all the template whatever is available. I'm going to choose the HTML5. Let me close the existing ones. Okay, so here I go with background. Okay, 1 second. Database Fury application. Need some time. Let's wait 1 second. Okay, yep. I didn't install, it didn't started properly, so it needs some seconds to load all your templates. So now it comes HTML5 project start, and which one you want? I want HTML5. This is also going to be a very static page, so this is HTML with JavaScript. Okay, and next, and here any authentication, no. Next, and what is the module name? I can say JS is my module name. Any OData to be connected for your backend system? No, that's it. So it's creating my workspace with all the name whatever I have given. Let's wait for a minute. It's getting loaded. So it's loaded, it created with few supporting files, folders and everything. This is the proper way of creating your HTML5 project or template. So we are going to use mainly the module. The module which I created is JS is the module for my project, and index.html is the first page. By default, you will get the hello world, and then you have one JS file. There is no .css file. I will what I can do is I'm going to create a new JS file for my reference, and I'm going to keep the function over there. So as I mentioned, most of the stuffs are available in W3 Schools website. So here I'm going to use a concept called form because I need some buttons, some input output box along with buttons. So let me take an example over here, example code, and then I'm going to keep it probably after the hello world. Okay, and here I'm going to say the name of this one could be the plant. Okay, so here would be ID is okay. I'll just a reference. I will start with ID for that ID plant. So the label is for plant. The ID is going to be used in your program. So if you want to receive any values, whatever entered in the particular input field by the user, that is going to be stored in this variable called ID over here. And plant, and I can say it's plant name, plant name. Okay, so here it's ID for plant name. So ID plant name. Okay, and I need a button. So let me get a button option over here. HTML buttons. You can search or oops, 1 second. Action attributes. Okay, here I have the button. So type of submit, value was validate. Okay. So let's see how it looks like. So go here in a preview. So you'll have hello world, first name, last name, and validate. So now I'm going to create one what do you call JS file. So here I'm going to use .js. I want to create a file on this folder. So keep the cursor over there, file, new file. Again, I'm saying validate.js. Okay. So it's created, and here you can add the function name, whatever name you want, function, initial validation. Sorry. Okay, and just I want to make sure it's working fine. So validated. That's it. Then the next step would be this function to be called in your HTML page. So first I need to add it. So script type equal to, it could be a text or JavaScript, and the source is, what are the source I entered? Validate.js. It's already created. It's listed over here. That's it. Script is done. So if you click, it should follow the link properly. Yes, it's working fine. Now I'm going to use the option on click in my button. On click equal to the function name, whatever we have given over here. Initial validation. Go here, just paste it. Okay, let's see, it's valid, it's working fine. Just click validate. Yes, it's validated. It's called the .js external file. Now I'm going to show you few things in the validate. Suppose if you want to add any declarations for any variable, so you can say variable plant, just give a name whatever you want and assign the value over there itself, and comma separated by comma, and continue with other declaration. Plant name, I can say plant, okay, building A, and then date of manufacture and quantity. So I have declared four different variables, and in JavaScript technically they call variables as identifiers. Okay, so this is the commented the way to comment a line, double slash. Like full line or a partial, if you want to comment, use double slash. So if you want to comment more than one line, use slash star and whatever it is, and then star slash. Okay, so here you see there is some three dots. It shows a message for you. All variables are unused, meaning the variables are declared, but it's not read. It is a normal information. Even in ABAP slen check also we will get it. So this variable is created and it have been assigned some values, but it's not used anywhere. It's not read with any of the statement. And if you, yeah, if you keep the cursor, it will show local variable, what is that quantity and name of the variable, and any is nothing but data type. It may accept any values as of now. So if you keep the cursor in any of other values, it shows plan name as string. Okay, because here based on the value, the data type is recognized. So plan name as a data type is nothing but string variable. Suppose if I assign a value to quantity as 100, then if you keep the cursor, it shows number, and the number is within single quotes. It recognizes that is a string again. Okay, so depends on the value, it will recognize your data type. Okay, so then you can assign a value after this also. So quantity equal to 100, sorry, 100 dot. Okay, and if you want to add, you can declare the other way as well, like var equal to um, discounted price. So you can do some small math in your declaration itself. So I can say it's like 100 minus 200, or discounted price is could be like quantity, sorry, quantity minus 20, something like that. Okay, so the idea is you are able to perform some operations or actions in the declaration itself. So this is going to be for var, and another one is suppose plant and plant name. So let me have variable so plant with a description. So plant with description. So here I can say plant with the description. It will come here also. That is a best part over here. Description is equal to plant plus plant name. Okay, so here this plus operator is going to be performed or used as concatenate operator. Okay, so concatenate operator, and suppose if I use maybe I can use the discounted price again. Discounted price equal to 10 plus 20. So here this plus is used as a arithmetic operator. So depends on the value, this is going to be recognized. These are a little new for us. So depends on the value, this is going to be like either used as a concatenate operator or a arithmetic operator. Okay, so these are the options which are available. So these are basics to learn any language. So we have to learn the syntax and what are the properties of the syntax they're using in the particular language. And the another one is let is also going to be the same like var. I have explained, you have the properties of a let is it has a block scope, but variable doesn't have. And variable, this var is allow you to do a redeclaration, but let doesn't. So these are some properties of var and let, or difference of var and let. So let is also going to be used for declaration purpose. So company code, I can say 1000. And so no one is going to be use the company code in the same variable or identifier as redeclare with the help of let, because it's already declared with the keyword called let. So that is a reason. So depends on your business need. You can decide whether you want to declare an identifier or a variable using var or let. And the another one is constant. So constant, you know about constants, right? So constant, I can say true flag. So true flag equal to x. Okay, and the constant may be used as a array also. It's like valid company code. I can say its company code is 1010, comma, comma. Okay, so and if you want to read any valid, means from the array, if you want to read it, it's actually 0 1 2. So you have to say variable of 0, variable of 1. This is a very basic one. Probably we have know how to read the value of an array. I can say, so variable, or I have company code, right? I can use it, company code equal to valid company code of 1. Okay, so these are the one different options which we used for a declaration and everything. And suppose if you want to use a if condition, so if you have to use the open bracket and company code equals double equals, that is very important, because here, one second. So here for a comparison, you have to use double equal. So if you use single equal, you won't get any syntax error. But what happens is once the statement is executed, line number 22, the value of 1100 is going to assign to the variable over here. Okay. So that you have to make sure you're using double assignment operator to compare the value between left and right. So here you can use single or double, whatever it is, single quotes or double quotes for a string value. So if it is company code is 1000, so you can say alert company code is valid. So otherwise, else space if, again you can give the value. So company code is double equaled some other value, again open and close parenthesis. So here you can say alert so company code is not acceptable. So some values, and finally you can use else, open and close, alert. So enter valid company code. So there are some issues because it shows declaration or statement expected alert. Oh, sorry, it's not closed here. So the block, if block is not closed, you have to close the if block fully before opening the next else if. Okay, same thing over here also. You have to close your else if, then else. I think this is an extra. So this is for else and this is for overall the function. Okay, so still it's showing in a red color, so there is some issue somewhere of this function. Let's see. Okay, so over here, so this is again extra. Okay, so your file is now normal color. It just changed normal color, so you are good enough to go. So here everything I used or declared everything in my inside the function and used it, and I'm going to use the variable of my design, my input screen. So ID plant or ID plant name. So if you want to use ID plan, it's kind of a global declaration. You can use it in your JS file as well, ID plant. So here I'm going to write a code and ID plan dot value equal double equal to 1000. So it's a case sensitive. Okay. Then I want to just change it. It's like 0 because I want, okay, not 0, 0 and 1, right? 0 and 1. So it's like 2200 and value is 1000. Then this code will execute. Let's go here and reload the frame. Just click validate. Company code is not acceptable. Oh, sorry, I didn't give 1000. Just click 1000 and click validate. Company code is valid. So that is the one I given over here, right? Company code like 2200 and 1000. Company code is valid. So it's executed. Now what I'm going to show you is console. Okay, before console, let me show you the HTML page in the debugging mode, what and all we can do. Okay, so for an example, let me have header one over here. Okay, and I have to give I have to give some colors or styles over here. Okay, so for that, I'm going to use internal concept. So style, and here header one, it's like color I can use. Okay, that's it. Okay, now go to HTML, it comes here. So now I'm going to do inspect this page, okay, index.html page, then we'll go to validate.js. So right click, inspect. Now if you go to elements, by default it goes to elements. Okay, so here it shows where exactly the code is for your page. So if you open HTML and you have a head we have the color, style and everything, whatever we have given, all the codes are displayed here. And the body is a form. I have the plant, first name, last name and everything here. Okay, here you can able to modify whatever you want. Just select the particular line and depends on that is displayed here. So here I just color is aqua and here the style shows display none. Okay, 1 second. I have to go to the header one part. Okay, over here. Okay, just click this header one, sorry, click the hello world under the header one, then it will display what are the properties of this particular statement or whatever it is. Okay, so here you are able to change this. Just double click, delete, so then it will display whatever colors you want. So I'll just change to brown, then it reflects here, but it won't change the code of your HTML page. This is the debugging level. You can able to modify it, and if you find okay this is what the user needs, then just copy paste whatever changes you have done here, then you can keep it in your program. And here also you can able to change it. Hello world modified, it comes here. Okay, so everything is fine. Again, you just copy it and go to your HTML page and do it, because this is not your HTML page. You are in the elements section in your debugging concept. Okay, this is for your HTML I'm talking about. So whatever you want, you can change over here also. So I want is a plant name over here. So now it's changed to plant. Okay, just copy it. Everything is fine and paste it in your .html file. And another one is, let me close this. Let's go to validate. If you do go to HTML, there is no change. Still it's in aqua color and still is hello world. There is no modified word over here. Still here it's also first name no plant. That is only in the debugging concept. And here validate JS, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a concept called console. Very simple one. So this particular code or the variable is not going to there is no important export parameter. I'm not displaying anywhere. I just used it. I'm not displaying anywhere. So you can use a concept called console.log. Then it will display what is the value of this particular variable. So somewhere in ABAP also we should know like watch point, right? What is the value of it? The same concept kind of. We can use a console.log. So let me go again to index.html. Sorry, index. and here I can say, okay, let me refresh it, reload it. So it's back to the normal one, normal design. And here 1000, inspect. So now I want to see the .js file in my debugging one. So go to console. Sometimes it may be full, so better clear the console and just click validate. It shows company code is valid, okay, and it shows the value of the console, whatever variable you selected it. Just click it. It will take you here and just have a breakpoint. Just click, it will create a breakpoint for you, and if you click again, it comes and stops here. Okay, then this is like what we use, right? F5, F6, F8, the same thing, concept or button options are available. So it's like step by step process. So here if you keep the cursor, any of the variables like company code is 2200 because it's validate of 1. It displays the value of your arrays. So there are 3 arrays, 0, 1, 1 and 2, and it's actually array of 0 prototype. So depends on whatever values, it shows all the properties of it, all the variable or identifier properties here. And if you keep the cursor here, it's true flag, it's just an X. Okay, and another one is undefined variable. So the variable is defined, but there is no values or entered over there. So here you can say DOM is actually undefined variable. It should show somewhere 100 and okay, I'm not sure. It actually shows undefined, meaning the variable is declared but it's not used anywhere. Okay, and just come down. Okay, I'm going to press F5, sorry, not F5, this button, it's actually called F10. So just click, it shows so 2200, and what is the plant value here? So it's 1000. Okay, ID plant is 1000. So if you 1 second, there is option. Okay, these are arrays. Okay, so id plan dot value, so the id plan dot value is 1000 over here. Okay, and then if press F5, so again, sorry, it's not F5, the next statement, it comes inside and it's executing the command. Just click OK, just come out of it. It won't execute, else if or else statement. Just come out of your entire code. Just close it. That's it. So this is a way to validate, or you can get the values, just keep a breakpoint and go to inspect, and you just see the step-by-step process and everything. Okay, so this is very basic how to create a .js file, what are the options you have, and if you want to write some more JavaScript code, to go to W3 school, here you have able to find the JavaScript tutorial. It's very simple, start from introduction, you'll get everything. Okay, so this one I'll show you this one as well. So and where to, and then output conditions, so everything is there, or you can see the constant and okay, variables. This is the one we have seen, right? There are 3 things: variables, where, let, and constant, and what are the syntax for constant. So everything is available here. So that's what I mentioned. I don't want to explain again and again everything, but it's very easy to understand. So our idea or intention of this playlist is to get into the UI5 and how the actual current developments are going. The same way we are going to create some UI5. So I don't want to spend much time on this. Okay, just play around with this. If you have any doubts, maybe you can let me know. Probably I'll just check and give a solution for it. And thank you so much for your time, and see you in the next video. Bye.